Hello, I'm Mr. Matthews, and as you probably know by now, Mega Man is my favorite video game series. As far as my favorite game in the series, it's not Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3, which are popular picks for most people, I think. No, mine is Mega Man 4, and if you give me a moment of your time, I'd like to spend the next 90 to 100 minutes showing you why I prefer this game. First of all, we are 4 games into the series, and finally, we have a legitimate, honest-to-God, expository opening cutscene. We're going to skip that for now, in the interest of time, but it is there. My next point is the music. I really like this game's soundtrack, starting with this stage select theme. This is one of my favorite stage select themes in the series, rivaled only by Mega Man 3's stage select theme. But there are tons of fantastic bits of music in this game. Also, this is a really solid lineup of robot bosses. Aren't any real stinkers here, like Woodman or Topman. Toadman and Ringman, you could say that they're probably the weakest ones here, but there also aren't any purely conceptual bosses like Quickman or Flashman or Chargeman. No, they're very clear with what their attribute is, which lends to better stage design. So we're going to start with Ringman here, who's probably the equivalent to Topman, but unlike Topman, Ringman is actually kind of a badass, and he has a much better stage also. I would say that all the stages in this game are very well designed. One of my main complaints with Mega Man 3 is that half the stages weren't conceptually matched up with their end boss at all. So you had stages like Shadow Man stage or Top Man stage that had nothing to do with the characteristic of the robot master. Had nothing to do with the way the game played, and it's not really a major complaint, but it is something I noticed. I appreciate that the devs actually took the time to put more thought into the stages here in Mega Man 4. They do play up the planetary ring aspect of Ringman here, so I believe the idea behind his stage is that he's basically in a planetarium. But with this mid-boss here, I think they also are kind of playing up the circus ring aspect also. But speaking of mid-bosses, I also love that Mega Man 4 does not skimp on mid-bosses. Mega Man 2 had the Fire Dogs and Woodman stage. Mega Man 3 had the Cats and Top Man stage and the Snakes and Snake Man stage. And also the Giant Hard Hats and the Doc Robot remix of Needle Man stage. But no less than half of these stages in Mega Man 4 have at least one set of mid-bosses, and Ringman actually has 2. The first obviously being that the Hippo. Ooh. And the second one being this thing right here. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. A pair of eyeballs encased in floating rings. Get it, rings, haha. I don't love this. I don't love this enemy at all. But it is a mid-boss, and I do have to give credit where credit is due. So good on ya, Mega Man 4. Now, I don't approve of all the changes that they made with Mega Man 4. For example, there's this new character right here. This is Eddie, or Flip Top, whatever you want to call him. He's just another way to find a random item in the stage. Sometimes he gives you an E-tank or an extra life. Most times it's a health or weapon energy power-up. You could have just found those on the ground. So there wasn't really a need to add a new character just to do that for you. Alright, so Rigman's coming up here. He's actually kind of a tougher boss. For a casual playthrough, he can be kind of a tough boss fight. Once you see what his pattern is, he's relatively easy to deal with, but he does require kind of some quick movement. Oh, I almost always take that first hit there. Reminds me a little bit of the boss fight with Metal Man and Mega Man 2 in the sense that you have to just kind of keep moving. So it kind of feels pretty exciting. I always like to do this with just the arm cannon. Now, I did not own this game as a kid. I rented it, and I got as far as the, I think halfway through Dr. Cossack's castle before I had to return it. So the first opportunity I actually had to beat the game was when I bought the Anniversary Collection on the GameCube. Because I didn't own it back in the day, I don't know it backwards and forwards like I do Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3. So basically what I'm saying is that this probably will not be a no-death run. So I'll be collecting all the extra lives and E-takes I can. And I'll probably also be using the appropriate weapons against the bosses also. Now, a few years ago, I did do a playthrough of this game, and I beat all the opening stages with just the arm cannon. So I did go through the effort of learning the bosses well enough to take them out without their appropriate weapon. So I do know which ones are the problematic ones. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to be taking the easy way out of all of them. So I guess now is a good time to talk about my main complaint with the game, and you've probably already kind of been wondering when I was going to get to it. So Mega Man 4 introduced the charge shot. By holding the B button down, you could charge up your arm cannon and fire a souped up lemon, which does, I think, 4 times the amount of damage as the standard shot. Here's my problem with that. It completely defeats the purpose of collecting sub-weapons. Part of the fun, and yes, the frustration of Mega Man is kind of experimenting with the weapons you have and trying to figure out the appropriate weapon to use against each robot. So when you have the arm cannon, you always have an effective weapon to use against the bosses. So it effectively breaks the... Whoa, that was close. It breaks the game. So obviously, the Mega Man X starts out with the charge shot. That's a big part of the game. The Mega Man X series is designed with the charge shot in mind. Mega Man was not designed with that in mind. So I can't really say it makes the game easier, but it just it undermines the central mechanic of the Mega Man series. However, it is optional. You don't have to use the charge shot, and I am not such an asshole that I'm going to hold a grudge or hold someone else accountable for something that, at the end of the day, is my choice to do or not to do. So I'm going to be a big boy and just not use the charge shot unless I actually have to. I will use the effective weapons though. Just to get through the game that much faster. Dustman is actually kind of a pain in the ass to do with the arm cannon, not because he is hard, but he does have those periods of invincibility, which makes the fight drag on longer than it needs to. Anyway, so I will not be using the charge shot during this playthrough. Skullban is another one of my favorite robots and favorite stages and favorite bits of music in the game. So here's one of the enemies that you actually have to take out with the charge shot. If you don't, he'll just kind of crumble apart and then regenerate like the red skeletons in Castlevania. I believe it was almost exactly a year ago. I got the Mega Man Legends. I believe that's what it was. The recent compilation of Mega Man games that Capcom put out. I had it on the PS4, so I was testing out the streaming capabilities of the PS4, and I was playing through this game. And for the most part, I just had a couple of my established friends in there, and then this stranger pops in and starts talking to me, and he seemed like a really nice guy. Nice enough that after the stream was over, I checked in with his channel to see if he actually had anything worth subscribing to, and he didn't have any content, so I did kind of forget about him. And then recently, as I got more involved with this community, I came across him again, and only this time he actually did have content, and that is Celestial Light. If you guys have not checked out his channel, you really need to. He is possibly one of the best gamers I've ever seen. He has tons of no-death runs on his channel, and he always picks the hardest ones. And I need to get out of here. I'm getting in trouble here. You know how there's some people that when they play the game, they just make it look too easy. I wouldn't say this Celestial Light is like that, because when he plays the game, he plays it so perfectly that to me it looks like hard work to get to that point. Oops, I accidentally used a charge shot, which is, I do mean as a compliment. I think Celestial Light was also very surprised that I remembered him from that random encounter, because he did not remember me, but that's fine. So check him out. He's very impressive. He does stream a lot of his no death run attempts. I believe now he's currently working on, I think he's working on another round of Super Mario Lost Levels. He gets good at games very quickly, so he kind of jumps to the next one before you know it. Let's see, to go to the next one, Dive Man. These mid-bosses showcase Dr. Wily's penchant for cute animal robots. He may be a... That was close. He may be a evil scientist hell-bent on taking over the world, but I can tell he does have a weakness for cute animals, and I can identify with that. So he's probably not all bad. By the way, that was another one of my little neat moments of this game. It's not really necessary to do, but a couple times you can break off the beaten path and find some hidden items, like that wire adapter, and then there's another one in a later stage. I don't think that those items really do anything that that Rush doesn't do. It's kind of neat they threw that in there. That's just one more wrinkle of complexity. I would really like to have some, oops, some health here. one E-tank. I'm gonna give this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chances to drop me a big health power up here. All right, well, we'll see how it goes. The Skull Shield is what you have to use against Dive Man, and you have to get pretty close, which puts you at risk of... Oh dear, all right. Wow. He's almost easier to do with the arm cannon in that case, because at least then you can keep your distance. Drill Man, I think, is the hardest boss to do with the arm cannon only. Not too bad with dive missile. Okay, so here's what the wire adapter does. It's basically just a grappling hook. Be one, but you could probably get up there with rush coil too. Yep. So again, not really very necessary to add that into the game, but I'm not going to fault the game for it. Now, what's his name? Drill Man. Drill Man is like Dust Man in the sense that he spends half of his half the fight invulnerable, which I don't like. So it is faster to go with his his weakness. Which, see, that does 4 units of damage. That's what the charge shot does. So if I didn't have the correct weapon, I could still take him out just as easily with just the charge shot. That's why the charge shot is dumb, in my opinion. Someone else might actually see that as a good thing. Toadman is not my favorite boss, but I think this is my favorite stage. I think he has just an excellently designed stage. I love that it's you are running through this rainstorm to start out with, complete with wind physics. The music is awesome. I don't love that the wind does make it hard to jump between these platforms here. I've died there a bunch of times. And then you drop into the sewers, and all that rainwater is flooding everywhere. That's just a really neat touch. Complete with robot sewer rats and I guess blobs. I don't know what they're supposed to be, if anything. And then my favorite sewer creature, giant snails. I love this. I love this enemy design here. Now the drill missile, whatever it's called, didn't seem to have a name. Drill Man's weapon is what you're supposed to use against Toadman. You don't have to. He's really easy. He does have a full screen attack that will hit you no matter what, but as long as you keep hitting him, he doesn't actually have a chance to use it. He just keeps on hopping over you like this. Love his stage, but Toadman himself is kind of a joke. I think Bright Man is another one of my favorite stages. Here's another little branching path. I think this just leads to an E-tank, which I'm in no position to ignore. And an extra life. I think I can make these jumps across here, but it's just going to be easier to use the Rush Jet. They did change the Rush Jet from Mega Man 3. You can't just move it freely all over the stage or over the screen like you could before. Whoa. Getting a little crazy there. This part right here can be kind of tricky. If you shoot him, the lights go off. If you don't shoot him, then his shots will just kind of follow you through this whole room here. Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. There we go. I like that concept also of shooting one enemy, turns out the lights, and the next enemy will turn it back on again. That's a neat idea. And Bright Man is kind of a dangerous boss fight. He has a tendency to jump on you and does a ton of damage. So it can either be really easy or really hard. I'm not going to take any risks here. I'll just use the appropriate weapon against him. I think the game gives you just enough weapon energy to take him out. Yeah, he freezes time, which is a pain in the ass. That's when he likes to jump on you usually. There we go. Ooh. That's one of the cases where the game gives you just enough weapon energy to do one thing, which is take out the boss that it is intended to be effective against. So it does take some of the fun out of using the sub weapons when you're not really given a lot of free reign to use them. And this is my other favorite stage in this game, and probably one of my two favorite music tracks also. Reminds me a lot of Gemini Man stage, where you run across the top of the base before actually going into the cavern below. I guess Toadman's kind of the same way. You can also make that jump there, but it's kind of tricky. Just be on the safe side, I'll use Rush Coil. This is where the other secret item is hidden. I think this one is a bit more useful than the wire adapter. The balloon adapter, which is essentially just like item 1 from Mega Man 2. And Brightman is obviously effective against Pharaoh Man. So Brightman's weapon is a time stopper, just like Flashman's weapon. Only this time you can actually still continue to attack as you use it. So basically, it's not so much effective against him, but it's the only Pharaoh Man is the only boss that the time stopper will freeze in place. Which allows you just to take him out with the standard arm cannon. I don't know that there's any weapon in your arsenal that does a significant amount of damage to him. And it's be about 10 o'clock because there's a train coming through. All right, so that's about the game's halfway point, so I'm going to pause here and we will finish this up in the next episode. I'm Mr. Matthews. Goodbye.